But for all you new people who haven't watched any of the build video on this truck, I'm going to do a quick breakdown in hopefully sub 10 minutes, so I can ramble. So here we go. First things first, this is a Revel. This body is a Revel model. It's a 124 model. I picked it up at Hobby Lobby for like, I don't know, 15 bucks or something, because Hobby Lobby is one of those places where everything is on sale literally all the time. So you never ever get a real deal. You just get you just pay the actual price instead of their inflated garbage price. It's a GMC square body, as you can plainly see. The way I mounted it to the frame of the SCX24, because this started out as a deadbolt, is I use 2 screws and I use the body pins under the hood, as you can see here. I just chopped a little bit of wheel well to make these things easier to move in and out. And then I just use my little, dynamite screwdriver. Oh, I can't aim. You can really use any screwdriver, but these screws go through the bed and into the shock towers, which it probably isn't like the best idea, but it's what I decided to do. I've seen some people like do cutouts here with like a deeper bed, and that's great. I didn't do that. I kept the bed shallow. So you can see that like from here at the highest point, this bed would actually probably be like right about here. So I cut the bed out once I, pulled the model out of the box or whatever. This piece had inner walls, and I cut the inner walls off and put it all together with basically like a shoe goo. And it's shallow. And some people were like, "I'll just, put a tonneau cover over it. You don't really need a bed." And I like the idea of doing that, but I've seen it done, and I haven't seen a shallow bed on one of these because I wanted to keep it kind of like unique to me. I was going to do what I've been told is called a dovetail and pinch the body panels in, but I didn't end up doing that because I was just like, I want to drive this thing. But so that's how I did that. How I mounted it. 2 screws in the back. I cut a little hole in the back of the cab to fit my ESC because I've moved my ESC to the back, really the middle, to kind of centralize the weight, which, if I were to do it again, I probably would just leave it and make the body work with the ESC up front. And then I mount my battery sideways, like so, and not really a fan, but I did it and I'm sticking to it. I also, with doing the battery up front, had to cut this firewall, there you go, firewall out a little bit, as well as some of the fenders to get in there. And I can't run any cab things any cab interior because this is in the way. But it's a nice little, like, you can stick your finger in through the window and, finagle the wires for the motor, or the engine and the motor and the engine. The engine, which is the motor, and the battery. Ugh. So I can unplug it, and then the little pigtail from the battery just kind of hangs out the bottom of the cab, which you've probably seen in videos. Be like this side. It sits in like this, and then sometimes this will pop out, but you can mostly just stuff it up in there like that. So I wanted to keep these body posts in because I've seen a couple other people use them to help mount, they're not RC body to their RC, and it worked great. For the hood, I just put a couple magnets. I used to have one here. I ended up like cutting it out. I can't get it out of the center of the grill, and then I just used, I don't know, they're probably like what, 1/8 of an inch in diameter. Who knows? And you just put these little guys, the little tabs in there, and then it magnets on, and it does hold pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect. If it bumps or whatever, sometimes it'll come undone, but it works great. The other thing I've done for the build is this is the second set of shocks. You can see these, it's like Power Hobby or something, China. and they're basically hot racing knockoffs, and they work just fine. The piggyback's not legit, so you can't really put anything in there like oil. As far as I can tell, they're not legit, and I wouldn't do it anyway because I typically like a more droopy, slacked out suspension when I go over something. But I got these kinetic double barrel shocks, and this is the only problem. This is perfect. This is the only problem I have with them. I got to get in here and get a drill bit in there and just make the lip on the inside just a little bit more smooth for that inner barrel to come out. Because if it falls over on its side, sometimes it gets hung up like that because there's a lot of play, side to side play in the actual shaft and the tube. You can kind of see. Yeah, but anyway, and then I got to run some preload on the spring. This is also the lighter spring. Second upgrade I did, basically first upgrade I did was the wheel weights. Then I bought diff covers. Then I did the Emax. Then I did the barrage motor. And in the process decided if I'm putting this barrage motor on, I'm going to swap this because I want a little bit more weight up front. The battery weighs, you know, like a hair more than the ESC. Nothing fancy, but or massive. But it'll give the truck more of like a legit like stance. The other thing I've done is another diff cover in the back, still wheel weights. I've put these like motorcycle balancing weights. These are Motion Pro. It says quarter ounce on there. Yeah, 1/4 ounce, 7 grams on the front and back. I put it on the servo here because, you know, I still get the play. Full flex either direction when the shock tube isn't fetched up. And yeah, the only other thing that I've done, which I didn't have to pay for, is because this wheelbase is shorter than the stock SCX24 deadbolt wheelbase. Here, let me just do this real quick. Take the body pins out, and we'll put the actual body on in place minus the screws. So pretty quick. There we go. So because this wheelbase is shorter than the deadbolt, I had to shorten the links. And the only thing I did was because thankfully Axial provides shorter links to shorten the wheelbase. That's all I did. These used to be the top links. So this is the bottom link now. And then this is the top shorter link that came in the box with the extra parts. This is the shorter drive shaft sleeve. So it the outer part of the shaft from Axial, and it works great. You got to press little plastic ball joints in there so you can get some movement out of these things. But like honestly, it fit the profile of the body a little bit better. If you don't want to do that, I guess you could just Dremel this part out or like chop it. But I didn't want to do that, so I just shortened the wheelbase. But yeah, that's the square body that's most driven. It's my truck, that's why. The other two, the Land Cruiser is my wife's, and the red deadbolt is my son's. But yeah, I just threw some spray paint on here after I had put it on the truck and was like, wow, it actually sticks and seems to be like people are liking it. But that's all I've done to this truck. And thank you for the new people joining us. Thank you for all of your support and comments and likes, subscribes, everything, dude. It's really kind of cool that people are even interested in hearing me ramble or watching me drive. I think I'm going to put lights in these soon, by the way, so just a heads up. And come tax return, I'm probably going to get something bigger. My wife's not really stoked about it, but I'm going to spend some money and get a nice 110 scale, I think, so stay tuned for that. We just had a baby, so our taxes are going to take a little bit longer than the average tax return. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good night. It's Crawl Talk Run. Peace out.